What's the most twisted family rule you've ever heard of? When I was 6 years old, my parents sat me down and told me that from that day forward, I no longer had a name. I was simply number 3. In our house, names weren't permanent. They were earned through performance. My oldest brother was number 1 because he had the highest GPA and the most athletic trophies. My sister was number 2. Being number 3 meant I was the lowest priority. I got the smallest portions at dinner, the hand-me-down clothes that didn't even fit, and I wasn't allowed to speak unless number 1 gave me permission. My parents were obsessed with a hierarchy. They believed that life was a brutal competition, and if we didn't learn to fight for our status at home, we'd fail in the real world. Every Sunday night, we had the ranking. My parents would evaluate our grades, our chores, and even our attitude for the week. If you slipped, you lost your name and your privileges. One week, my brother, number 1, got a B+ on a math quiz. My mother stripped him of his title in front of all of us. She made him hand over his bedroom door, literally took it off the hinges, and he became the 0 for a month. He had to sleep on the floor in the hallway and eat his meals only after the rest of us were finished. The worst part was how it turned us against each other. To get a better rank, you had to sabotage your siblings. My sister once hid my inhaler before a track meet just so I would finish last and drop in the rankings. When I couldn't breathe and finished in tears, my dad just looked at the charts and said, "Number 3 is looking more like a 0 today." I lived in that constant state of anxiety for 15 years. I became a straight A student, a varsity captain, and a literal ghost, doing everything perfectly just so I wouldn't become the 0. The breaking point happened during my senior year of high school. I had finally made it to number 1. I had the best bedroom, the car, and the right to speak first. But then, my parents brought home a surprise. They had adopted a golden retriever. At the next Sunday ranking, my dad announced that the dog was now number 1 because he was more loyal and less stressful than any of us. He told me I was being demoted to number 2 and had to move back into the smaller room. Something in me just snapped. I looked at the dog, then at my parents, and for the first time in a decade, I used my real name. I said, "My name is Sarah, and this is insane." The silence that followed was deafening. My mother actually gasped like I had physically hit her. She told me that by using a forbidden name, I had forfeited my place in the family entirely. They packed a trash bag with my clothes and told me I was the invisible now. I wasn't allowed to be seen or heard in the house until I repented. I didn't repent. I left that night with nothing but my phone and $50. It's been 5 years. I worked 3 jobs to put myself through college. My siblings are still trapped. My brother is 26 and still calls himself number 2 in his emails to me, terrified that if he leaves, he'll become a 0 in the real world. My parents tried to contact me last month because the dog, the original number 1, passed away. They wanted to know if I was ready to reapply for my position in the hierarchy. I blocked their numbers. Sometimes I still catch myself checking a mental leaderboard before I make a decision, because when you spend your entire childhood as a number, it's hard to remember how to be a person.